Hi everybody. I wanted to make a short video to explain in detail the requirements for the long essay and to go over the assignment with you. And the first thing I want to say about this is that this is completely doable. I know that some of you might feel a little bit intimidated by this essay given all the changes that we've been going through lately, but we've been already working toward this. We've been taking steps toward it, and it's completely doable. Remember that I'm here to help you along the way. So you've seen this information before in the video that you watched, hopefully at the beginning of the week, posted in the announcement on D2L. So the long essay has to be a persuasive essay with thesis and support. It has to be about 4 pages long. The minimum length to get a C is 1,250 words. Remember, that's a statewide requirement that we do have to enforce for you to get credit for English 101. And that's kind of a bottom line, 1,250 words. It needs to have at least 3 sources, and those can all be the articles that I have assigned to you. You could also use the recommended readings I've posted, and you're also welcome to do your own research if you prefer. And then finally, it has to have a works cited list, and I'll go over with you how to do that. I'm going to make another video for you to watch about that, but the basic information, if you're unfamiliar with how to do works cited lists in MLA format, is on pages 7 to 9 in the nuts and bolts handout. I'll also make sure you have samples. Okay, so I've been saying that we've been preparing for this already starting last week. The best way to prepare is to become as familiar as possible with the debate. So what you should be doing then is doing the readings that I've been giving you. If you got behind, just go back to the readings I've posted on D2L under content for the long essay and read all of those. Another way to prepare and get familiar with the debate is to read the discussion posts that your classmates and I have made. Get as familiar as possible with the different ways that people see this topic and the different things that they have noticed in the readings. So here are the tasks for the rest of the week. By tonight, I would like you to read each other's posts and reply to at least one classmate's post. You know this already. This has already been assigned. For Friday, I still want you to pick and read 2 articles at minimum under the recommended readings on D2L. Read the sample paper that I'll be posting under content. That should be posted by tonight. Watch my videos on the sample paper and works cited list that I'll be posting. Those will be short. And note that I am no longer asking for your thesis statement this Friday. I'm moving that. Saturday, if you want to earn some bonus points, you can make a discussion post that summarizes and responds to the recommended article that you read. Okay, so again, for Friday, you're picking and reading 2 articles under recommended readings, and if you want to on Saturday, make a post about those readings in order to earn 15 extra bonus points. Again, the thesis statement will be due on Tuesday instead of this coming Friday. So you have a little extra time to think about which topic you want to write about. Your tentative thesis statement, as you remember from your voting essay, your tentative thesis statement should be, I'm sorry about that. Your tentative thesis statement should be a debatable position on an assigned topic. I would like for you to post that on D2L assignments, and you'll get 10 points. If you want to do more like an outline, you sure could, but really all I need right now is a tentative thesis statement. So I'm going to go over to content in a minute and show you the assignment itself, what would be the handout I would give you on paper if we were in class together. By the way, congrats on making it this far in the video. You can earn 5 bonus points if you email me and tell me how you're doing this week. You can get as personal as you want. I don't want to invade your privacy, but I'm curious about how everybody's doing. And refer to this video, and you'll earn those 5 bonus points. And I'll email you back. I'll be happy to hear from you. Okay, so let's go to D2L. All right, so here we are in our course homepage. This is the announcement you should have read over with all of the work that's due this week. These are the things we've been over already. Let's go to content. And here we are in content for the long essay. All right, and the long essay assignment is posted here. Okay, so this essay is worth 75 points. Your last couple of essays have been worth 50 points. This is worth a little more because you're doing a little more work. After you've done the reading, I want you to pick one of these 4 topics to write about. If none of these interest you and something else triggered your interest in the readings, then you can create your own topic. But I'd like you to get my approval before the, well, this should say before the thesis is due. You don't have an outline due. Okay, the most obvious one is, should we keep using SROs in public schools? A little more specific, assuming that you agree with SROs being in schools, is under what conditions should they be used? Some of you have been writing about this. You think they should be there, but currently maybe you're not happy with how they're being used, or you have concerns. So what conditions would have to be in place for you to support SROs in the schools? A third possibility is, should schools invest in counselors and social workers instead? Amir Whitaker wrote about this, and there's some optional readings, recommended readings about it too. In other words, if school resource officers are there to solve problems, are there other ways that we could address those problems in schools? 4 is about the school to prison pipeline. Should we be concerned about that? If you want to, you could also write about a solution to the school to prison pipeline. Okay, so pick one of these 4 topics or create another topic that is going to meet the requirements for you to use the assigned readings as sources. All right, so the requirements, some of these requirements will look familiar because they were the same requirements in your voting essay. First, to advance a specific and debatable thesis statement, to take a position, in other words, in relation to the debate about SROs. Second, to provide effective support for your thesis statement and for all of your claims. Include appropriate background for your audience. Imagine an audience who isn't familiar with the SRO issue. And then make sure somewhere in your paper to address a naysayer as well. You'll need to use written sources as follows. As I've said, at least 3 assigned or recommended articles, or you can find them on your own, but I recommend that you get my approval first. You can just send me a link. Smoothly integrate quotations. Use quotation sandwiches without letting them dominate. Don't make the mistake of using too many quotations or such long quotations that your voice gets lost. Most of the words in every paragraph should be your own. And then correctly use and cite your quotations, paraphrase and summary in MLA form, just like you've done before. Papers with plagiarism will not pass. And you'll need a works cited list. I'll review that for you and I'll make a video for you. As you know, it needs to be about 4 pages long, or a minimum of 1,250 words, and it needs to have all the English 101 stuff like good paragraphing and structure, focus, clear sentences, that kind of stuff. Okay? This essay is required. If you skip it, it's going to be really hard to pass this class. All right, so the deadlines. All deadlines are for 11:59 p.m. to give you more flexibility during the day. The tentative thesis statement, as you know, is due on Tuesday, April 7th. In 1 or 2 sentences, write the specific position that you will argue in the long essay. The wording doesn't have to be perfect yet. Remember, it's tentative. An outline is completely optional if you have more ideas you want me to look at. Submit this on D2L, and of course, watch for my feedback. Go back and look to see what I've said. Your draft is due on Thursday, April 9th. We are going to do group workshops online. So you'll check in. I'll have put you in groups and made the drafts available to you. And then you're going to write feedback for each other sometime over the weekend. I'll provide more deadlines for you to do that. But plan to submit your draft, and also plan to take some time reading your classmates' drafts and giving them feedback just like you would in class. This way you're testing your paper out on an audience and you're helping a classmate as well. We're going to do virtual conferences in mid-April, the same week they were originally scheduled, I believe. We're going to use Google Hangouts for this. So you'll find a time that works for you. We will set up an appointment for this. I'll send you a link to the Hangout. When you click on that link, we'll both be able to have a video chat, and we'll be able to look at your paper. on the screen at the same time and talk about it. It's pretty cool. If you haven't done this yet, it's pretty cool. We don't have to wait until this week to do this either. We can do it before if you'd like. The final deadline is Tuesday, April 21st, so you still have a few weeks to get this done. Okay, if you don't have a works cited list on your paper, it's going to be counted as late. It has to be there. And as it says here, I'll be generous with extensions. I know everything's a little strange right now, and some of you have really difficult work schedules and other things going on. All you need if you need an extension on anything is ask me. Ask me preferably in advance. All right, you'll also be asked to write a self-appraisal. I'll give you details about that. The brown M&Ms, the formatting, those details are pretty tiny, but they're right here, and they're also on the last page of your nuts and bolts handout. Same as for the last few essays. Not as important as your essay itself. On the bottom of this handout, I've got some suggestions and reminders for you. Please review these more carefully. And then finally is the rubric. Notice that the rubric looks quite similar in terms of how it's structured. It's just that there are more requirements for length and source use and the works cited list. You need at least 6 paragraphs. Okay, and I'm also going to be looking at whether you actually used my feedback in your revision. So that is the assignment. Now, later, very soon, under this, under the long essay assignment, I'm also going to post a sample paper for you to use. Again, these are all the readings you should have done by now. If you have trouble, if you fell behind, go ahead and get those read. Oh, by the way, this plan template is something you can use if you want, if it helps get your thinking going. All you need actually for the tentative thesis statement is this part. But if you want to use this as a tool to get your thinking going, then you can use this template if you find it to be helpful. Oops, let's go back here. Okay, so back under content for the long essay, you may have noticed this already, this long list of recommended readings. There are a lot of them here. I certainly don't expect you to read all of them. There's just a lot of them. But these are some of the readings that I have found to be valuable that relate to our topic. So if you're interested in whether we should have more counselors and social workers, you might want to read one of these first articles. Or if you're interested in police training, you might pick that. If you want to argue that we should have SROs, but they should be more carefully trained. There's a couple articles more specifically on training. There's some things about the school to prison pipeline. There's all kinds of different articles. So I'd like you to pick a couple of them that seem most relevant to you. Maybe you're going to want to look at a few before you commit to anything, and give it a look before you commit to it. The more you read, the more information you'll have, the more confidence you'll have about the essay that you're writing. So I would encourage you to read more than 2, but read at least 2. Okay, so that's about all I wanted to talk to you about with the requirements for the long essay. If you have any questions at all, make sure that you let me know. I know I keep saying that, but I really mean it. I miss seeing you in class, and I want to make sure you have all the information that you need to succeed. I'm totally rooting for you. And I hope you're feeling confident about this assignment. Take care and be in touch.